Today joining me are Denis, Fokuzx2 and CapnScrub or Adam. Hi guys.
Hello.
I
Okay, we're going to have the soundboard open
And a
today.
live audience. And a live audience
Oh
for this
yeah.
one. Yeah, book your tickets. Book your
Okay,
tickets.
I've got my soundboard ready. So, guys, it's been a long time. It's really because I think we can never all synchronize times because we're all in different time zones and stuff, and everyone's got a busy life. Shinyo couldn't make it today, but I'm sure he'll join us at some point. So, what's been going on, guys? Scrub, what's been up with you?
I've been really busy lately. Bought a house that needs a lot of work doing to it. I've changed my job as well. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm self-employed now, so I'm not working for a company. So that's been pretty keeping me tied up pretty well. And I got a cat. So that's my life right now. Thank you.
You got a cat. Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
A kitten or a rescue adult cat or what?
In between the two, in between the two. It's 9 months old, and it was going to go to a cat's home if we didn't take it. So it did come from a nice house, a nice family, but they
Okay.
couldn't have it. So there we go.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
called Lemon.
that's great. That's a great
Yeah,
name. That's a great name. So,
yeah.
Dennis, what are you up to? How's life?
yeah, we are getting a dog,
Yay.
first of all. And my working season is over. As most people, I guess, know, I'm always really busy at the beginning of the year. So lately it has been a lot easier. And I've already been on holiday and have some more seat time now to play EAWRC.
Excellent. And so, yeah, I was just about to say, well, you're going to have more time to drive. Adam, are you going to have more time to drive now?
Um, I would like to, but I don't know. In I think the house has been taking up a lot of my time for the last 2 months or so.
Yeah.
So I think now I'm at a point where it should be a little bit more chill and I should be able to do a bit of driving.
Yeah. Yeah. I know how that feels, man, because I used to drive so much when we started doing these podcasts. I was doing the GRF dailies. I was on there every single day. And then, now things have just been kicking my ass a little bit, and I've had to take more time to work and not go to bed so late. So I'm doing at most like twice a week, but I'd like to start maybe just doing shorter stints and doing it more often, maybe. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of us are in the same boat. Some people are
Mm.
disillusioned with the new game and they're not playing it much, and others are just having life, knock them around a little bit. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so okay, well, we don't have a script or anything, and now that we've kind of settled in, let's well, we have to decide what we want to talk about. One thing that I was really keen to do was to have a kind of a bit of a post-mortem on the Scrub Club season 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
what
yeah,
do
it
you
feels
think
like
of it?
ages ago, doesn't
It
it?
was, yeah,
Already?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, just remind everyone what Scrub Club was, maybe, and how long it ran for, and what could we expect in the future, and what did you think of it? And I think I'll chime in, and maybe Dennis as well.
So Scrub Club was the championship club that I started up, and it was similar to it sort of took inspiration from the WRC2 format,
Hmm.
which is they have in the WRC2 calendar, obviously there's 13 events. Is it 13? I think it is. But they choose to score in a set amount of them. I might be wrong here. I think it's 6 or 7,
Okay.
but they can choose which one they want. I thought it was good because it gives the club an element of flexibility. So if like you're saying, if we haven't got as much time to race, then you aren't tied into racing in the club every single week. You can kind of pick and choose weeks, or if you miss a week because of something's happened, you don't necessarily have to lose points because of that, and lose out in turn on fighting for a spot in the championship.
Yeah.
And also for to be able to play to strengths and weaknesses, whether the strengths of yourself, the weaknesses of others, that sort of thing. Give a bit of strategy to it. So if there's a location that you're really good at, then you would want to make sure that you choose that one to score in. But if there's locations that you aren't as good at, then you don't have to score there, and you can prioritize the places you're better at for racing there. So it kind of so it was 10 events. You score in 6, and it went on for 10 weeks. And I think overall it was a good, it was a success in my eyes. Not obviously people didn't always have time to do the races they said about, and there was stuff going on with the game that hindered things a little bit from time to time. But overall, people seemed to enjoy it, and I know I did as well. Enjoyed jotting it all down every week and that sort of thing. It was good.
Yeah, I certainly enjoyed it. I think we were just over halfway through when VR came about in the game, and all of a sudden, I started to, my interest in the game picked up a lot, and I started doing better in it, and it was really fun. It was fun to, especially as the weeks went on and the strategy element of it became more, more and more pronounced. And then there were people who won an event, but they hadn't chosen that as their, scoring one, and that was all fun. I think I came third in one of the events and ended up getting maximum points for it. So that worked out really well. But it was a lot of fun overall, just trying to, as you say, get your strategy and tactics sorted out, and then it was an element of crossing your fingers, once you get started
Yeah.
on it, and not having chosen, it's 6. Was it 6 events that we had to score on? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was good because it meant that some weeks I could just focus on a different club and not even bother
Yeah.
doing the race, and that was nice. Or when we were going away or whatever, or a life event happened, it was cool that week. So, Dennis, did you do this? Did you do the Scrub Club?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that's right. We were competing for a while, right?
Denis was in
yeah,
the team as well.
yeah. The Polo Baddies team with Samsung X and Mickey Donald. Was it
Okay.
Mickey Donald? Yeah, it was Mickey Donald using the Seat
Yeah,
Cordoba.
yeah.
It was really cool. I liked it because I could choose the locations that I like, and I didn't have to drive the locations which I didn't like. I think I skipped the snow ones
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what I liked about the club.
Yeah. There
Are
was
there any plans
fantastic.
yet for a second season?
Yeah, so I've got some ideas in mind because I was discussing it in the chat for it about potential ideas, seeing what people thought, and I would really like to um I would like to introduce um the WRC2 rule where in WRC2 they can drop a race, they can drop an event retrospectively. So let's say you race in an event that you've chosen, but you end up retiring.
Hmm.
At the end of the season, you can choose to drop the points from that and nominate a different location for the points instead. Because I did notice that it was a bit frustrating to retire because you aren't doing as many um, locations. The points do matter more. So if you picked one and
Ah,
you end up retiring on it, it was quite annoying.
Yeah.
yeah, but that was the cool factor, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple. I felt bad. There was a couple of lads that retired more than once,
Mm,
and I noticed towards the end of it they just sort of had lost a bit of interest. Whereas at least if there's that kind of safety net to a degree, it means that if you do retire, it doesn't completely blow your championship, you can think, right, well, it doesn't matter. I'll get stuck into another location instead and try and do better there. So I'm going to try and implement that somehow, that maybe it'd be you score in 7 events, but you drop one of them at the end of the season. So that will kind of play in the strategy a little bit as well.
Okay, but it would still be like 10 events. You have to drive 7, and then you drop 1.
Yeah, I think so. I might mess about with the numbers a little bit, and just see if I can work it so that maybe I do more events. So maybe I could do 12, but you score in 7 or something like that. I don't know. It's sort of balancing having it not last absolutely ages, but also making it so it's still competitive and still still fun and what have you.
What
So
car
that's
class?
well, this is another thing that I'm quite keen to implement is I'm gonna try doing multi-class.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it. I think I would like to do WRC2 class as sort of like, and I want to kind of model it on an actual like a national rally event. When you go to national rally events, or even if you go to WRC or whatever, you've got the main the top class, like the over here I'd have the British Rally Championship, and that'd be WRC2 cars, Rally 2 cars driving in that.
Mm.
But then you have other classes as a support classes, other championships racing. So I'd like to maybe have the WRC2 as the main class if you want to drive the fast cars. But then also have a rear-wheel drive class,
Yeah.
maybe a four-wheel drive historic, potentially.
Four-wheel drive historic.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Group
like
A and
yeah. Thank you. And maybe I don't know yet. I would like to have a front wheel drive class because front wheel drive cars are actually really they're like a pillar of rally in
oh, I was
grassroots
just about
rally.
to do
It was
that.
the wrong one. Wait. No, this one.
I was about
Um,
to do the sad horn.
so I mean, I've still got to work out because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do it so that you pick one class and that is your main class. So you
Mhm.
can't score in every single class
Yeah.
because otherwise it could be unfair because everyone's going to be running the same event.
Hmm.
So if you pick your class, you have to do that class first
Right.
so that you can't do another class to as a practice run. And then,
Okay.
so someone could go in, they could do 3 classes and then do their actual class as their final run and have a massive advantage. So trying to govern that might be a little bit tricky. I mean, most people might not have the time to do that anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's not really an issue.
I don't think you need to stipulate that. Like if someone can do that, good on them, I guess.
Yeah, and
I
because
mean,
go
yeah.
on, no, go on.
And maybe if we're really, really lucky, we'll have multi-class racing with the upcoming update.
Yeah, and I mean the beauty of me recording it all myself is that I can quite easily implement it, whether we get it or not, and also the way that the copy and pasting works with, like you can save an event now.
Yeah.
That will make it so much easier because all I've got to do is go in and change the class, and I can just have the whole rally
Right.
ready to go.
And you can do that,
The
right?
whole championship. I'm
You
pretty
can-
sure you can.
You can change
I'm
the
pretty
class, and
Yeah,
it's not just
yeah.
okay.
You can
Cool.
you can save the rally and then just change the class. That's it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's good.
So it's going to make doing it a lot easier. And then what would be really cool and what's making me really want to do it is that I think it would just be so great to see. I mean, this is if I have time. I think another thing with it is I might have to get someone to help me out with it because I think it'd be cool to see how people end up time-wise in the different cars
Yeah.
on the same event,
Yeah.
and I'll do a full they do it in Richard Burns Rally, don't they? You can do it in Richard Burns already. So you have the final event, like at the end of the stage, you can see the complete listing of everybody that's raced in it, and then also you can see just your class and how you've placed in your class.
That's
And
exactly what the clubs should offer
Yes.
from day one, you know.
yeah. So I mean, because we haven't got it, I'm happy to have a go at it and see how it works out. It's just I don't want to have too many classes, but equally, I think it'd be fun to at least have one front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and the four-wheel drive. I think
Okay.
to have one of each. Even if it's just like two people racing in the front wheel drive class or something. I think
Yeah,
that could
I'll
be
be
funny
one
in
of them.
itself, you know? Yeah, yeah.
I will be one of them.
But yeah, so that's one of the other plans for it. For I think they're the two main things that I'm looking to do
Right.
as a change. I think
Sounds really cool ideas.
yeah, we'll see how they work out. It might not work out as good in practice, but at least I'm happy to have a go at it.
Right. That sounds really good. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I've got very little time now uh, to do my driving, and I think I'm just picking like one club to do at a time.
Mm.
And a few weeks ago, it was just the ScrubClub, and then maybe the special events because I was, creating the events. And I felt that I should do them, but I've just had a special events where I didn't participate, so um, now I don't have that feeling that I must participate with the club that I do. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to round two. You gave me an idea though for a special events thing that I'd like to try. Um, so let's say if a championship is 10 events and you have to score points in 6 of them, I was thinking we could do a Secret Santa kind of thing where everyone gets the name of another participant and you choose for them what they have to score in. Right, so it's like kind of a sabotage scrub club. So
Yeah, yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if everyone ends up just picking the same few locations for everyone else because they think they're going to be the hardest.
Yeah, yeah. Be if you do a winter Monte Carlo with that, see it could that could be a good thing or a bad thing to choose that for somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that might be something that we'll do, but currently I kind of need someone to help with the scoring systems and spreadsheets and stuff as well. So
Yeah.
because we're just doing RaceNet stuff anyway. But so when do you think you might do season two then?
Um well I think I timescale wise, I don't know because I need to have enough time in my like I need to have enough time in the evenings to collate every single week. And
Right.
that it ends up being quite time consuming.
Yeah.
So I need to and it's time that obviously I'm taken out of my recreation gaming time to do that.
Hmm.
So I it really yeah I don't want to let it go on for too much longer.
Right.
And I mean with the new roadmap, it might be a good time to strike in the next couple of weeks or something like that, while people maybe are getting a little bit more excited for the game again
Yeah.
and see whatever. But I'm also thinking I may do just a little special run, off-season run, trying out the multi-class to see how it would actually work in practice.
Okay. Well,
So we'll
we're due
see.
to do another special event. We could do um, we could have like a pilot Scrub Club season two light as the next season as the next special event if you were up for that. Anyway, I should ask you that in private.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
That could be a good way of doing it, to be fair.
yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
we'll
chat
we'll,
about it.
we'll talk about that. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So this is sounding very cool indeed. Um. Dennis, are you going to do it?
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed the last one. It was really cool. Um, I'll be in for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Take
Yeah.
this moment to shout out to the few lads that were on Linux in the last championship that won't be with us in the next one. Rebel, Samsigax, and I think there was a couple of others as well. So shout to you boys. Um,
Yeah. Definitely. It's sad.
moment of remembrance, let's say.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I was also thinking, Adam, Dennis, that you know you're saying about how you have to take out time from your recreation, or even from time when you might be sorting out your house or whatever, to do these to collate the data and stuff. I think it's probably time that some of the group or club admins asked for help from asked for volunteers who might want to help. I don't know what you think of that as an idea, because we've got so many games now and so many clubs, some of them replicated in Dirt Rally 2 and in EA Sports, that it is getting to be quite a lot of work for the admins. And maybe we could get volunteers who, as we have seen, previous volunteers end up basically on the path to becoming administrators of clubs, and then even full on administrators of the GRF.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I mean, I think for Scrub Club Series 2, I need. It's not that I want someone to help me out. I genuinely will need somebody.
Yeah.
So that
Okay. Well,
Maybe
be handy.
I think some maybe people who are good with like doing scoring stuff and standing stuff and
yeah. I mean,
like that, I guess.
Squeaks comes to mind. He's great, but I think he's doing it for several clubs already. So I don't know, if.
Mm.
But yeah, that's something that maybe if we talk about a kind of a collaboration between special events and Scrub Club, I might be able to help out with some things if it's just like grunt work or something.
Mm.
It might be quite therapeutic to just sit there copying and pasting things into a spreadsheet. I don't know, but we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
let's talk about
so
the next
Dennis,
point. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
we've started Summer Club.
yeah, the Summer League
Yeah, the Summer League.
3.0,
So tell us a bit about that.
which yeah, it's the third time we're running this event. More of a casual approach, which means you don't have to do like every single rally. Just do the ones that you like. No big podium every week, and maybe you guys have no. Okay, you haven't, since only one rally has been finished. I was inspired a little bit by the upcoming one-shot weeklies. I was asking the top 10 guys for their stages
Hmm.
which they want to see in the new season, and then I took the car class and location,
Yep.
um, and I made a rally out of it and put it in the summer league.
Oh, interesting. Very cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
in most cases, I don't think for all of the summer league rallies, but most of them. Which means if somebody chose like I wanna in the upcoming one shot, I wanna see Group A in Chile. This means that there's a high possibility that in the summer league there's a complete rally with Group A in Chile.
Cool. Yeah. That's
And
what's on now, isn't it?
yeah, now it's the second one is running in Chile actually, and at the end of the summer league, um, one of the top 20 finishers will get a voucher for the GRF merch shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That is really cool. So, how long is it running?
For oh, is it 10 weeks? 8
10
weeks?
weeks, 8 weeks. Okay. Okay.
Let me see. I have it open. Is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 weeks. 8 weeks. 2 months.
Okay. Cool. I've already done Pacifico. I did it last night, and that's one of those locations that I haven't done much of. And yeah, it was a bit of a rude awakening. I think I finished 24th, and
If
it was,
you
yeah,
you have to check out the first stage.
yeah.
standings in the first stage. There's on the first four is 1 to 4 is all is VBR Tristan,
Yes.
VBR Rodis, it's all VBR guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, they're really good. I think I got something like a top 25 time in time trial on the first stage because that's the one that I did to get a tuning, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna do all right, But I think I was like 30th or something like that on the first stage, but it was still a lot of fun. Like I must say this about WRC is that because it's still quite new to me. It's a lot of fun, just to do it blindly, right, and just listen to the calls. And I think I've become better at just listening to calls and reacting. When without VR, I think I was going very, very slowly and just like, okay, there's a left two, got to slow down. But now with VR, I'm able to go a bit more fast. But it's really nice not knowing the stages in some ways and not caring about where you finish as long as you kind of gave it your
Mm,
best shot.
mm,
So yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
It
definitely.
sounds that's when it's the stage where the game's really fun, I think, when it's like that,
Yeah,
where you can just yeah, you're just doing it for the fun of it, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
That
And
that's
it's
how that
yeah,
that's how I've been driving rally games since Dirt Rally 2.0. I mean I never played that much that I got to the point that I would remember each and every corner. So most of the time, if it's not like in Dirt Rally was 2.0, it was New England, which I knew kind of well, but still until the end of the lifespan of the game, I always felt like it was kind of new to me.
Mm.
yeah. I think for me, I knew almost every single corner of every stage, I think. And sometimes I'd play them back in my head when I was about to go to sleep, and it's still playing in my head. I think Spain and Germany, well, no, not Germany, but I think Spain was probably some stages of Spain were the ones that I didn't know too well. But other than that, I really had got to know most of them, and then it's still fun. It's just a different type of
Mm,
fun, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
mean, if you want to be like really competitive, then you have to know every corner. But if you just want to play it for the fun of it, and you only play it like twice a week, you might not be as competitive as you used to be, but you'll have fun
Yeah, that's my
more
plan.
than before, I think.
My plan is to just have that type of fun for now, and in 3 or 4 years, I'll probably be really good. you know,
Yeah,
be
why not?
competitive then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they just keep adding to this game, which I guess we can talk about in a minute as well. So Summer League is definitely happening. I'm afraid I have been out of touch with many of the things in the club. So you mentioned the one shot weeklies, which was something that I pushed for originally, but
Mm,
now I've kind of stepped away from managing that. So is that
yeah.
Void doing that?
No, that's me doing that.
You're doing the one shot weeklies. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Oh,
there will be an announcement. I wanted to do it tonight. There will be an announcement for the new season tomorrow.
okay. Well, maybe I will participate in that too. God, I'm
Mm.
promising lots of lots of things. Okay, and so what else do we have going on in the EAWRC
We just
game?
had the roadmap dropped, haven't we? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about the
In GRF. In
in
GRF.
GRF?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about the roadmap in a sec, I think.
Okay. I don't really know. I'm a bit like you. I don't
Right. Well,
really know what's
Denis.
going on.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing in particular. I mean, special events is for the moment finished.
Yep.
ARC season is coming, and it seems that we're going to start like in the past with the GRF team
Right.
and the usual weekly running amateur and front wheel drive clubs with no like special news at the moment. And yeah, I think the special news of the day is the roadmap.
Yeah. So
Very
what do you
exciting.
think? You think it's exciting? I do.
Yeah, I'm really hyped.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
especially
Yeah.
July 30th when we get new liveries, suits, and helmets and more.
It's-
I like that actually. I have to be honest. I like that kind of stuff.
I'm glad
Really?
they made it free because I wasn't buying another one.
Oh,
So
But yeah, I
it's
bought
good.
each of them.
really? I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even understand the seasons really, and like liveries, I don't usually even care, right? It's like whatever's the default, I just usually take it, you know.
But if you want to take a nice picture, and if you're a bit of a car nerd like I am, then
Yeah,
liveries are important.
yeah, I guess
Um,
so, I guess so. And I don't even know. I mean, I know that my driver isn't naked, but that's about all I could tell you. That they're wearing something with the suits and the
yeah,
helmets and stuff.
I like to change the suits and helmets on my driver like every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
okay, fine. I mean,
but
yeah,
they will give away the season 6 rally pass for free because all of them have been like $5, which we must admit is not a lot. So I bought each of
okay.
them, and the new one, season 6 rally pass, will be for free.
Great.
Mm,
Yeah, and what I'm really looking forward to though is October onwards, right? Because what
Mm.
new
yeah.
locations and then new cars.
Oh
Again,
man, I fast gravel rallies. We're going to get Poland and we're going to get
Poland, Latvia.
Latvia, which well, I assume that we will, but they will be so much fun. I'm already imagining it.
yeah, yeah, that's great. I mean, I haven't even. I think there are still a couple of locations that I haven't even tried yet in the current game. So having more is just a huge bonus. But then what's
Mm.
interesting is it says new stages and more for winter and spring. And when it says new stages but not new locations, that means they're going to be adding stages to locations that we've already have. And what that could mean is the current stages, the locations that we have, will get more stages, or it will mean that possibly, if you're a real pessimist, that some of the new locations are going to come out with a kind of a half-assed complement of stages and not going to have many, and they're going to add more um, with to those locations to kind
Oh,
of
I see what
round
you're
them out.
saying.
It
Yeah, yeah.
right, but I don't really care either way, right? It's new content, and for me, it's the content that counts, which is
Mm.
locations and stages, and to a lesser extent, cars, because there's already more cars than I'll ever drive in the game. So, whatever, what do you guys think?
I really like the roadmap. I mean, if there's one thing that you can't have enough in racing games, and it doesn't matter if it's circuit racing or rally games, is tracks and cars.
Yeah.
It seems that we're getting new tracks and new cars. I also
Yeah,
understand there's going to be new locations like Latvia and Poland, I guess, and new stages for existing locations, which would be cool. And yeah, also what I like, probably nobody else will care about, is that there will be liveries for cars outside of the WRC class.
right, right.
Uh,
Well, I think a lot of
Really
people
cool.
are interested in liveries. I'm just not one of them. I'm just into how the car drives and how great the stages are.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, but I think a lot of people
There's
are.
also there's a lot of photographers out there,
Yeah,
that like take pictures and stuff. And what I would like to see would be some kind of like livery marketplace, where you could share liveries and give them away and stuff like that.
yeah, that would be great. I mean, I can't remember who it was now. Gosh, actually, not gonna even say it. But somebody, one of the GRF members made me a livery of my company for
Uh,
our JRC Lancers, for the
mm,
JRC
mm,
competition. And that was fantastic. Like that I
yeah,
was
it's
really
really cool.
into. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was very nice of them. Um,
The whole livery thing comes to life when you can share that stuff.
yeah, exactly.
And
Mm.
the WRC KT games, the generations, the last one had exactly this. You could like do a livery and then share it.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be something quite special.
Uh,
I think
What I
If you
mean,
can make custom
like I said,
liveries, yeah.
yeah, roadmap is really cool. It really contains a lot of stuff that I wanted to see. But the other thing is, I'm really wondering if they will change anything, if there will be some major bug fix or technical upgrade or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope we get some stuff with clubs. Some
Yeah.
I think we will. I'm optimistic for that because on the EA forum, the clubs is still like the most upvoted thread on the whole of the
Mm, mm,
requests. So I
yeah.
see. I feel like then I would be very surprised if they continue to completely ignore that.
Yeah. I mean, the game really lives of the clubs, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
Dirt
now
Rally.
absolutely.
1 year into the game, I mean, who's playing career mode?
I plan
Uh,
to.
I haven't. I haven't touched career mode. I think for like 9 months or
Yeah,
something. I think I'm
yeah.
still stuck in Rally Sweden with my
Mini or
uh,
something.
with my
Oh, yeah.
strange build car that I had to build. I mean that builder thing also nobody cared about that. Nobody cares anymore about that. So what keeps the game alive is like the club mode, the online mode, which is in this game is the club mode. And what I also think, from the beginning, I said I hope, even though when everybody was saying, "Yeah, the game doesn't run great, we need a new game, and this and that," I was always the one saying, I really hope they will stick to this game and then just add like seasonal content,
Yes,
new
yes,
season content, and that's
yes.
what it seems that they're doing, which
That
I
will.
think is really, really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, Assetto Corsa Competizione that has been out for like I don't know 6 years or something, and they added each and every season of GT3 and then GT4 racing.
yeah.
Mm.
That's the way to do it because Dirt Rally 2 was
Yeah,
going strong after five
yeah,
years because of clubs,
yeah,
right? Because of
Yeah,
clubs
yeah,
and yeah, and who wants to then suddenly say, oh, well, we can't play Poland and Latvia in this game where you have to
mm,
load up another game, right, to play that. And you can't have
mm.
it in the same, championship.
and
And
with EA owning Codemasters, I think a lot of people were scared that exactly this is going to happen,
Yeah,
but it seems that it won't. Also they're giving away a rally pass for free.
yeah, no,
We're still
that's all
talking
good.
about EA.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, that the good news is we might be getting Latvia and Poland. The bad news is it's regularity rally only. You know, no, but
yeah, come on.
don't say things like that, Joe. Don't say things. One
It's
thing
going to be a
somehow I've
regular
just noticed
what?
reading
updated.
through the sorry. Somehow I just noticed reading through the roadmap
Yeah,
is if you look at the DLC packs,
yeah.
the expansion in October gives current season content. So I assume that's the new Rally 1 cars, Rally 2 cars, etc. But then in the DLC packs, it says that there's packs containing cars. So I'm assuming that in the DLCs, they will be historic cars that we'll be getting because that's separate to the current season content that's coming with the expansion.
I
I
see.
think I might be reading that wrong, but to me that reads like we're going to get the current season content plus
Right, I'll have to read it
more
carefully
cars.
and see what that means. But
Get our lawyers involved.
yeah, what?
I think
Try
that
and claim
like
it.
contains current season expansion contains current season content, new cars, located deliveries. What's the difference there? Standalone bundle for new players. Hmm.
Yeah, the standalone bundle
Yeah,
probably contains all of the
it's
past
like a
seasons and everything, right? Just to get you up to date.
game of the year edition kind of
Yeah, kind of. That's what I
thing.
think.
I'll just buy the most expensive one anyway.
Yeah. So what do you think?
More historic cars would be so cool.
Is that what you
Oh
Would be
man,
want?
like,
Is more historic
yeah, that would be,
cars?
yeah, that would be
yeah.
the highlight for me. More historic cars with
Examples?
accurate liveries. Yeah. Examples: Skoda Octavia WRC,
Hmm.
Escort Cosworth WRC, the 5-speed one.
Give me a Celica.
Yeah, Toyota.
Yeah.
Corolla would be cool.
Right.
Oh, that'd be lush.
Yeah.
Well, I
We can
agree
dream,
with
can't we,
those.
boys?
Yeah, I agree with those. But you know what?
And no GT cars, no RGT cars,
No, that's
no
what I
RGT
want. That's
cars.
what I want.
That's not. If
I want my Porsche
And
back.
imagine two DLC packs. One DLC pack is like RGT class.
I think they've upset people enough. I don't think they'll do that.
Like if I had just the BMW and the Porsche from the RGT class, I'd be happy.
Please
I
no.
really enjoyed the Porsche,
Okay,
I
you know
must
what
say.
be worst possible thing that could happen? Two DLC packs.
Yeah.
One is RGT, and the other one is like some kind of EV rally cars.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
didn't even
that'd be
think.
amazing. Yeah, great
Uh,
idea.
Is there
oh
actually
boy.
any? Is there actually any uh, EV cars that do
Yeah, there's Opel is
proper
Rallycross.
running
actual
a
rallying?
yeah, no, Opel is running a Corsa E up thing. So yeah, there are EV cars.
Interesting.
And, yeah. Oh, please no. No. No.
EV. Yeah, I mean, I do actually. I got into the nitrocross with the EVs recently, and it was a lot of fun. The first season they ran that in America, I didn't. I couldn't get into the EVs because there's no sound. But I must say they've made it really exciting.
That does make it. That aspect does make it very attractive to EA and Codemasters that they don't have to do any sound recording for it.
Uh,
They just play the ambient tire sounds of the
Yeah.
car, and that's
Well,
it.
yeah. I mean, there is a whine, right, that gets more and more high pitched, and it's kind of cool. And
Okay.
I'm used to that in my EV now,
but
which
Joe,
goes really fast. But that's another thing.
speaking of EVs and
Yeah.
rallycross, you know what happened to those Lancia Delta EVs?
No.
Was that last year? No,
No.
which they caught fire and were destroyed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
There was
remember.
some team that was running Lancia Deltas
Uh huh.
in the EV version, and both of their cars burned down.
Shit happens, right? But it happens in all sorts of cars, right? Certainly, you can name one incident that's happened in in an EV, but all the other incidents have happened in internal combustion cars, right?
Yeah, but come on, they the thing is, they took a Lancia Delta,
Yeah,
you know, the form and everything. They were even Martini liveried, made EVs out of them,
yeah.
and they burned down.
Wasn't
So
was Sebastian Loeb driving one of those?
isn't he even like involved in the team? Wasn't he like
Something
important in
like
that
that.
team? I think he was actually also driving one of them, or he was one of the drivers. But I'm not that much into rallycross, especially not EV rallycross.
Right. I'm only into the Nitro Cross because they've got some great drivers as well and real characters, and they kind of know how to put on the show with all the jumps and cars over cars and stuff. So that's pretty good. But
Oh,
yeah, I'm thinking though. Um,
While you can still listen to your favorite music
yeah,
because you can't hear the cars.
exactly. Although I must say, Dennis, that having had an EV for maybe 4 or 5 months, I find that I'm really much less stressed when driving because of the just the ambient sound and it's really no, it's a very quiet experience, and I realized why I'm so much less stressed. It's because when there is a lot of engine noise, I'm sitting in my rig, right, driving rallycross, or being driving rally in Dirt Rally 2, at least in those days, and I kind of associated that with being stressed about competing and
Okay.
so on. And so now, and a friend of mine just bought an EV as well, and he said, it's the same thing that he's finding it much less stressful driving, even
I
in
mean,
traffic. You know.
I mean, nothing against EVs for people who want these cars or like these cars, but I don't see them in like my favorite rally game.
Oh, I don't think they belong there, right? I mean, if they are ever established and popular, then sure, put them in. But yeah,
But let's talk about this in some 10 years or something.
yeah,
Like I
maybe.
said, just imagine a DLC pack with RGT cars and EV cars.
Yeah.
I think they would burn the official Discord down.
Yeah. No, I
That
mean
would be the end of it.
RGT was not unpopular. I mean, I think they were okay. You just didn't like them, right? Because, quote,
Yeah,
those cars have no business being in rally, right? Because they're supercars and they cost a lot of money.
the rich people cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you buy an Aston Martin and then like rip out all the leather and wood and stuff and make a rally car out of it?
I don't know. Maybe they wanted to make their Honda Civic look nicer on the inside. They harvested everything.
I don't
Okay.
know, but you were right. When there was an RGT rally, there was always quite a lot of participants. It wasn't that nobody was participating in Dirt Rally 2.0. So you're right.
Yeah, because what I loved about them is that they drove similarly to, H2 rear wheel drive and H3 rear wheel drive.
Yeah, I mean, if you like rear wheel drive, then there's a high possibility that you're going to like RGT cars.
Yeah, because the RGT cars they were basically, as fast as the Group B, if not faster, but they handled pretty well as well, to an
Mm.
extent. And there's just something so satisfying with the rear-engined cars, right? Including the Alpine and both of the Porsches there. That once you get the flow, and learn the balance of those cars, it's just exquisite. I just loved being able to drive them fast. So yeah, I miss the Porsche, I must say, in RGT. But yeah, I don't care. As long as we get new cars, a new class of cars would be nice. But getting more cars to choose from is also good. As someone who does clubs a lot, unless it's the special events where we have car restrictions, there are a lot of cars that I don't think many people drive, just
Mm.
because they're not the fastest one or two cars in a class. And so unless you're feeling nostalgic or something, I think a lot of cars go, undriven. The Subarus certainly and were never the fastest in their class, but they were always really fun and satisfying to drive, so there were people taking them. But, some cars you just had to be a
Uh,
masochist. You had to be a real
uh, but
masochist to take.
but it's in a way it's like in real life. Why is in Group A? Why is the Delta the fastest car? Because in real life it was the fastest car. Nobody could beat the Delta.
Yeah, yeah.
So why would the Escort Cosworth be as fast as the Delta when in real life it wasn't? You know.
Yeah, absolutely, and I understand, but I think that's where the responsibility comes to clubs, right? Where to
Mm.
make it fun, to make people choose different cars, like the special events we had tiers and then we had car restrictions, and then it
Mm.
forced
Mm.
people. Sometimes I would just say, "What's the worst combination that I would not want to drive?" And then I'd make myself do it, and make everybody else do it as well. Drive the Citroen DX if you want, force them to do that in a fun championship, or to choose not the fastest cars, or give the lowest tier the fastest cars as long as they can handle them.
Mm.
And let's see if, the fastest drivers can still eke out a lead with the Datsun, instead of the
Yeah.
Stratus or the BMW or the
You,
Renault
you, you
5.
you see multi-class in EAWRC. The possibility to have multi-class would
Yep,
change so much in the game.
Yeah.
With
yep,
so much stuff you could do, it would bring the game alive.
It's a fundamental part of rally as well,
Mm.
multi-classes. Every
Mm.
rally you go to, you've got every car there you can imagine, usually.
yep,
Mm.
So it needs to be in the game.
for sure. I agree. Now, one thing that we haven't really touched upon is, well, I think Scrub, you mentioned it briefly, is bug fixes and things, and there are still a lot of really unhappy people. Um,
Mm.
I keep hearing people say, "Oh, the physics are bad," or it's unplayable for me. And we haven't even touched on VR yet, right? But how's the game running for you, and what do you think of that, and
Yes,
how crucial is it to get
sorry
some
to
bugs? Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you before you start talking about bugs and stuff. I think I'll say good night because it's nearly midnight here.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Dennis, thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
you
Um,
you guys just go on, I guess.
Yeah, we can shit talk EA Sports now. He's going scrub. No.
No,
Have a good
that's
night,
what you've
Dennis.
been waiting for. Okay, thanks. It was nice chatting to you.
Okay,
You
take
too,
care, man.
Dennis.
See you next
Sleep well,
time.
mate.
Bye,
Cheers.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so yeah, Adam, what do you think about the state of the game and the legitimacy or not of some of the complaints that we're still seeing?
Um, for me, my game runs pretty well.
Okay.
I haven't got a really high spec build. I've got a AMD 2600X
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
a 36 Ti. No, 3060 Ti at the moment.
Okay.
And yeah, it I don't get amazing like really high frames, but I think I get 70 to 80 on a 1440 ultra wide, which to be fair is quite good on sort of medium to high settings.
Yeah, that's not
So
bad
for
at
me it
all.
runs all right. Yeah, I had a bit of issues with my wheel for a while,
Yeah.
where it just kept I was getting random disconnects through
What's the wheel?
stages.
What wheel do you have?
Uh, Mozart R9.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And I think I did a repair on the game through Steam, and that seemed to fix it. So I don't know whether that was an actual bug in the game or whether that was just something that corrupted in my files or something like that that was causing the issue. But I haven't had it since doing that. But I mean, it's different for everyone, isn't it? And I think the it's a real shame that Linux support has now gone because from what the guys were saying, it was actually quite stable on there, and they seem to have the least amount of bugs of anybody. But
Yeah, that's just so
overall,
sad,
yeah,
though. I'm disappointed in that because I don't think people cared that much about, the anti-cheat stuff anyway.
no,
Um, but I guess, they've got this whole esports thing planned and
mm,
coming up, so they needed to do it for that. But it's, I think it's short-sighted. I
yeah,
think it's a case of execs in the company maybe just not understanding what people want, and they're just thinking about the bottom line.
yeah.
Really, yeah. So there are things that will make you more money but lose you goodwill, and I don't think that's a sustainable model.
No, well, we did perfectly fine in Dirt Rally 2
Yeah,
with no anti-cheat system and or not one that really had any impact on anything.
yeah,
And it's sort of the issue, the thing that is kind of frustrating about esports is it's literally just official clubs. Do you know what I mean? It's just the club. It's just a club with a different name on it,
okay,
essentially. Oh, or that I don't see how it's going to be particularly different from an official club. Just where you
yeah.
maybe get a little sticker on your name that you won it once. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Um,
No, I thought it was
or
going to
is
be like
it maybe
competitions.
ranked?
Yeah, it's going to be competitions like, have you seen the Dirt Rally 2 World Championships, right? They did that a couple of years in a row.
Okay.
And so they have the special club, but it has its own little tab in Dirt Rally 2, which was the World Series, it was called. And
Okay.
and then they had everyone had to do a certain number of events, and you had 3 rounds, so you had 3 chances to qualify. And what it was that you couldn't tune the car, but you had a class and a stage, and you could practice as much as you want with an untuned car, and then you had to compete. And I think the top 3 people went into the quarterfinals. Top 3 people from each round and each
Yeah.
platform. So there was Xbox, PS4, and PC as well. And then they televised or they broadcast on YouTube, the quarterfinals and semifinals, and then the finals. And it's really
Okay.
cool. John Armstrong and oh god, I've forgotten his name now. The Rallycross dude, Rallycross announcer dude,
Oh, I don't know.
Coley. I can't remember. Yeah, he's quite famous, and I really like him, and I feel very embarrassed that my senility is. I think it's Andy Coley or something. Anyway, I can't remember. But yeah, they were the announcers for the final, and it's really cool. You can get really into it, and it's quite tense. So
Okay, I
yeah,
stand corrected on that then.
pardon?
I stand corrected on that then. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm being a little bit. Maybe this is the issue with all of us, that we just get a little bit upset about stuff that, uh, maybe we don't see the full picture. I don't know.
yeah,
There
it's
is stuff that is legitimate to be upset about, mind. But
right, right. Yeah, it's Andrew Coley. I was right, Andy Coley.
yeah,
Is
overall,
yeah,
I have to say I'm really happy with the game.
yeah,
It's got so many stages, like so many locations, so many cars. With the new roadmap, we're getting more stuff added to it. The 32, like the really long 30-kilometer stages are just fantastic. Like if you're doing it on a wheel,
yeah.
it's it's genuinely tiring.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and to experience that just in a video game is brilliant, really. It's when you haven't got the opportunity to do rally in real life. I mean, obviously for PC players, we've already been able to experience that to a degree with Richard Burns Rally.
Right.
But it's nice to have it with something that's a little bit more
Mainstream.
user friendly,
Yeah,
I guess would be the
yeah,
way of looking at it.
yeah, for
Uh,
sure, for sure. I mean, those long stages, right? My goal for this year, as a kind of roadmap to improvement, was to have a world record by the end of the year. Of course, everyone could get a world record on day one. You just choose something that nobody's done yet, right? But
yeah.
apart from that, I was like, oh yeah, I've got to get a world record somewhere. And then I had like 2 days before I was supposed to do Greece in H2 rear wheel drive, and I'd never done that combination at all. So I just decided to hop on to the long stage of Greece in one direction because that covers everything Greece, right?
Yeah.
And to my surprise, I got the world record right away, my very first attempt, just because nobody practices a long stage, right?
Yeah.
There were only about 20 people who'd done it. And so now, since then, I've kind of been locked in a little battle with someone, and we keep, he's already gone up. Um, he's beaten my record, and now I think I'm going to claim it back this week.
Nice.
But the Greek stages aren't too long, and I like Greece and I like rear wheel drive so much that it doesn't feel like a chore. But I remember doing Mexico the first time, doing the long stage blind, not having ever done it before, and just trying to listen
Yeah.
to the calls in rain at night, and it was just horrible, especially since you crash a bit and your radiator takes some damage, and then by the end you can't get up the hill
Yeah,
at
yeah. And
the
there's
end.
some nasty corners in Mexico as well.
Yeah,
There's
Mexico, I
some real
think.
nasty ones.
Mexico is one that I'm gonna have to master at some point. So that was it. Yeah, it was really rough. For me, the game runs pretty well. I just didn't like it not having VR
Yeah.
that much. It just didn't seem right. And then as soon as VR came, I started doing much better. And that is still, I go on Reddit and I see people bad mouthing it. Even on our Discord, people who are really well established Dirt Rally 2 drivers are very disappointed in the performance that they're getting
Mm.
with VR. And Adam, I've got to tell you, VR and rally, it's just meant to be. That's the way you have to do it, really. It's so good. And after all these months, it wasn't a great experience. I was underwhelmed at first, but I've tweaked my setup a little bit, been a little bit less ambitious with what I'm expecting to see, and now my VR runs really smoothly. And I feel that I can't share my enthusiasm because there's almost nobody else who would agree with me. It runs really well for me on an Oculus or on a Meta Quest 3, and
Yeah,
in Rift mode, in with Airlink or Quest Link as it is, and it runs really well for me. And but when I go back to Dirt Rally 2 and look at the graphics, it is better, undoubtedly. It looks nicer in Dirt Rally 2, but I think the driving feel in EA Sports makes up for almost everything.
yeah, yeah. I quite like they struck a good balance in my opinion with having obviously there isn't an arcadey element to it, but it bridges the gap between feeling really good on a wheel
Yeah.
while also being sort of forgiven for newer drivers.
Yeah, I mean,
It
Codemasters has long said, right, that including a rally driver is associated with them, that difficult to drive isn't does not equal realistic,
yeah,
right? So they still claim that it's a really good model, and I kind of agree with that. I don't think you can get these edge lord snobs who want it to be so difficult to drive that nobody can even finish a stage, unless they
mm,
put in years of practice. And I don't think that that is realistic at all. That it has to
no,
be super hard, right? And if it isn't, it's an arcade game.
yeah, I think people chase the in a real car, you're not going to be going flat out everywhere, are you? And
Right.
I guess they want that aspect of the game because Richard Burns is like that. If you go flat out, it's game over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's really funny adjusting going back to that game, to and from that game where you've been used to Dirt or WRC where you can sort of really put your foot down.
Yeah.
And then you get into Richard Burns and you put your foot down and you're just going to hit a tree straight away.
Yeah. You can't stop in
But
time or turn in time.
yeah, and I appreciate that has its own element of enjoyment. But
Hmm.
for people that are going to be trying to get into, maybe they've seen some clips of Rally on Instagram, they think, oh, I'll get this Rally game. If it's that brutal,
Yeah.
straight off the bat, I mean, they're gone. They're not gonna sort of hang around to try and get good if they're sort of casual gamers,
Yeah.
I
And the thing
guess.
is that Dirt Rally 2 had the reputation of being brutal.
Yeah.
For new players, right?
Oh, Dirt
Yeah.
Rally. I used to play the Dirt series loads,
Yeah.
like Dirt up to Dirt 3,
Yeah.
and then Dirt Rally came out, and I bought it, and I was playing it on controller, and
Oh
I
God.
going from Dirt 3 to Dirt Rally was just it was so hard. I remember just playing it, and I some mates were over, and I tried doing a daily challenge in Monte Carlo, and it was brutal. It was at night time, and I had a crash and lost my headlights.
Oh God.
And I was just
Yes.
sort of thinking to myself, like, what is this game?
It's
This is so
torture.
unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, why can't I just sort of drift around the corner really easily?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, so it strikes a good balance, I think, of having an element of difficulty, but also not being so realistic that it's it's not approachable for the casual gamers, which people hate that, but the reality is the casual gamers are the people that pour the most money into these
Yeah.
games, that they
Absolutely.
buy it, play it a little bit, and then
Buy
flit on to
another
the
game.
next game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, because after having played Dirt Rally 2 for a couple of years, I loaded up Dirt 3 just for fun, and I was breaking my personal best very first go, just from what I'd learned in Dirt Rally 2.
yeah,
And it was easy to just destroy my previous times, which I thought was a good credit, credit due to the engine that they're using and the physics that they're using. That learning to drive on a more difficult system made the car perform better on in Dirt Rally 3.
yeah.
You know that you'd think if it was really all that arcadey, it would just. I think what's arcadey is in what it allows you to do, but is much more grounded in reality and what the car can do if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, that's good. But yeah, going back to VR, I think certainly my experience is good. It's not as good as Dirt Rally 2 in some respects. In others, it is better. But that certainly seems not to be the case for a lot of people who are
yeah,
having trouble, even with the same hardware that I have, or similar hardware. And I think it's because some of them have maybe made tweaks before the official patch came out, and so there might be some kind of conflict or something going on there. But yeah, I wish, certainly I would rather, instead of the July season 6, I would rather see a really good fix for the VR. But
yeah.
yeah, who knows?
Well, it is
Let's.
still in beta, isn't it? And
Yeah, it
the
is. It
fact
is.
it's in beta means that they are going to be working towards an actual release at some point where a lot of stuff's fixed. So
Yeah, I
just have
mean,
to hope that.
personally, I think maybe Dennis would agree with me is that they've been working on this game, and if in a year from now or a year and a half from now, they've sorted out most of the stuff, I will play the fuck out of it for years to
Yeah,
come. Right, like we did with
yeah,
Dirt Rally 2. Right,
yeah,
it took
absolutely.
a long time to sort that out. So yeah, I hope they will listen to us and we'll continue to do something good and positive for the rally community.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. And like we were saying earlier, and Dennis was saying, clubs are the kind of lifeblood of these rally games. So to that they're going to be where we can maybe draw some people back in, and when if people come back to the game with the DLCs and stuff, then there's something from to jump straight into.
Yeah, I mean, how much more difficult would have the EA Sports WRC marketing been, right? If they didn't have clubs and discords to give us a
Yeah,
sneak peek and then to get the buzz going to make it more mainstream. Because I know I shared that with like two or three people, and if everybody did the same, we're doing the
yeah,
marketing for them, right? The value of the clubs just cannot be underestimated,
yeah,
and it'd
yeah,
be foolish for them to do so.
yeah. I think so,
Yeah,
absolutely. And there's so much potential with clubs as well. I mean, if you read through the suggestions for what could be added to it,
yeah,
if half of them were implemented, the clubs would just be amazing. They would be so good.
for sure, for
Just
sure.
so much room to make a really just a really good game out of them.
Yeah,
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 we'll
for
have to
sure.
see what happens.
Okay, mate. Well, shall we draw a close here? I wouldn't mind chatting with you for a couple of minutes on an idea for um, Scrub Club Season 2 pilot
Yeah,
with special events. And yeah, it was great getting a chance to speak to you again. We'll try to do another podcast before Christmas at some point. So yeah, maybe at the end of the summer. But thanks for joining us, Adam, and we'll speak to you again soon. I hope you come back and do another one with us.
thanks for having me.
All
Thanks for
right,
having
mate.
me. Enjoy it.
Okay, well, so I will call it a day there. Thanks for listening, and we'll be, as I said to Adam, we'll try to be back sooner than in 6 months' time.